Hello, Cancer. Welcome back. My name is Aviana. For those of you who have not watched me before, we're going to be doing a general reading for you today. Whenever you find this reading is perfect. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, just take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Okay, Cancer? Let's get into it. So, I was getting ready for your reading, and I just was like getting the energy that there could have been some sort of disagreement or bickering, some sort of conflict, maybe between you and someone else, or maybe like someone is trying to drag you in between, like, say it's like two mutual friends or something, and someone's trying to be like, aren't they being ridiculous or something? So there's been some sort of conflict, and you're really focused on, like, that's none of my business. That has nothing to do with me. Let me let it go. You could also be really working on letting go of like repeating stories where maybe you made the wrong decision or a time you felt embarrassed, like instead of reminiscing on that and like still being stuck in that like shame or guilt or embarrassment, you're just like, I'm not there anymore, let's move forward. Either way, I feel like there's a lot of emotional regulation happening with you, and we love that. So let's see what's going on for you, Cancer. Most important messages for Cancer, please and thank you, Spirit. What does Cancer need to know? All placements, most important messages in their highest good. Please and thank you. All right, let's do one more shuffle, then we're ready to rock and roll. See, I just saw Temperance and the Three of Pentacles. I feel like you really want to focus on teamwork, compassion, understanding. I feel like anything that's representing separation or trying to pit people against each other, you're just like, I'm not into that. I'm not doing that. I'm protecting my peace. And the thing is, I don't think you're judging these other people or like shutting them down. I think you're giving space, like really explaining, like, listen, this is what I want in my life. I want peace. I want happiness. I want ease. I want love, respect, mutual respect. And, I feel like that doesn't represent that. So, I just don't want to talk about it, or I don't want to be around it, or, whatever. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the Sun, the King of Wands, the Magician. Yeah, I mean, happiest card in the deck. I mean, look at how bright this reading is right now. Like, it feels like your life is, you can really see everything going in a really good direction within yourself. Your relationship with you, I feel, is really at a good place. There's no time for self deprivation, self sabotaging, questioning your worth. I feel like you have a really good connection with your inner world. And I feel like that's why, you're being really protective of your peace, of the energy you're putting out, because it's really easy to get caught up in someone else's, like dialogue. I mean, like, yeah, da 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 da. And it's, I feel like you're just focusing on positivity, happiness, and you're really protecting that energy for yourself. And it's not to say that other people don't have the right to feel how they're feeling or vent or whatever, but you're just making a very conscious decision, I feel, to stay in a very positive light. You're like, I don't want to bring back negativity to me by gossiping about somebody else. Like, I don't want that. I don't want to be on that frequency. Yeah. You have the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, the Moon card, the Five of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you've recently had some sort of clarity about an argument or a disagreement. I feel like you're just seeing the other side of a situation. And I think that this could have been a singular situation, or maybe just some sort of like general epiphany that you came to recently where you're like, why am I fighting? Why am I, falling into disagreements and, this just energy that makes me feel worried and burdened and angered? Why am I doing that? So I feel like, yeah, there's just been a lot of clarity, and you're ready to kind of start looking at life in a different way. You're really protecting your energy. I like that. Okay, well, let's see what's going on with you. Okay, let's see. What is the main situation that Cancer is dealing with right now? The main problem, if there is any, what's going on? Most important for Cancer. Okay. So we have the Five of Pentacles. So this could be maybe some health issues, financial setbacks, obstacles, but I think really what this is you being worried about maybe other people that you feel are lost in negativity, or this could be, being worried about what's going on in society right now. You could be worried about, maybe you are going through some sort of hardship personally, but immediately what I felt was like, it's almost like a superhero looking at the world and looking at some sort of like destruction happening and feeling really sad and really helpless, but also knowing that if you are determined, you can do something to turn this around. And this is whether this is a personal situation or there's someone around you going through this, or this is just how you're feeling about society or whatever right now. It can be a dark time, but there's hope, and that is represented with like this stained glass here. They're these people are right by a church. You know, let's see. We have the Four of Swords, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're feeling really motivated to either offer help, get help. I don't know. It's feeling like Justice Warrior right now. I have to go with what I'm feeling. You are really eager to offer assistance, offer aid. And again, there's that church door. Some of you maybe you work in the religious field in some way. Maybe you are really religious or spiritual. We have the Seven of Swords, the Emperor. Yeah, I just feel like this is being really aware of like the issues that are happening in society, or just the power imbalance. Like it looks like someone with a lot of power, a lot of authority was very shady, was lying, was cheating, stealing, and left these poor people in a very dire situation. And I feel like you want to help. This is something that really speaks closely to your heart. And again, this could be something where maybe someone did something to you, like maybe your landlord screwed you out of a situation, or your boss, or whatever, you know. But this is something where, whether it's a personal situation or not, you are very tied to this emotionally, and you want to provide victory, provide strength, help people overcome, help people fight back. Very honorable. I love that. Okay. Okay, so that's the main lesson. Or not the main lesson. That's the main issue or the main plot today. Okay, so I want to know, how can Cancer achieve their goal of justice, fairness, overcoming hardship, helping others, whatever the situation is? Okay, very interesting. We have the Tower, Scorpio energy. So immediately what I heard, Cancer, was you have to embrace this. You know what I mean? It's like you have to go through a breakdown to go through a breakthrough. You can't have one without the other. This is reaching balance. This is appreciating every aspect of overcoming hardship. It's not just about the overcoming part, because that wouldn't be so sweet if this didn't happen. So maybe that's something you're needing to learn, or something that, like a concept you're having to understand a bit more to help others. See, we have the Hermit here, and it's like, in order for him to have been the Hermit, he had to go through so many obstacles, so many highs and lows, so many moments of self reflection and different parts of himself like changing and dying off and surrendering, you know? It takes a lot to get to this. And you know that because you've been through a lot. Okay. We're going to clarify all of these messages, so we'll come back around. Okay, so that's the situation, how you can accomplish this and work through all of this. Okay. All right. Didn't even ask a question. 8 of Swords. Okay. Feeling stuck, feeling confused. This could be a lot of anxiety, a lot of overthinking getting to you. Spirit's saying you need to relax, look within, meditate. You're trying to juggle too many things right now. Yeah, it's time to go within and explore some sort of heartbreak or ending that you went through. Okay, this is actually really beautiful because there's going to be purpose in this pain that you're experiencing right now, Cancer. There's going to be purpose in the pain. But you have to ground yourself in order to explore that and see that. You know, let yourself feel it, right? You got to process it. You got to go through it how you need to go through it. But, you know, let yourself cry, let yourself be hurt. And then, you know, journal, take a nice bath, you know, do things to love on yourself, care on yourself, to get out of your head about it. So that way your body can feel safe, so that you can approach releasing or reflecting on it. Because there's going to be purpose in this pain. Okay. And there you go, the Empress. That's what's on the horizon for you, Cancer, the Empress. You're going to flourish, you're going to thrive, you are going to overcome this. And it may feel a whiles away, but know that that's on the horizon for you. Yeah. You're going to, yes, look at you. You're going to heal from this. You're going to overcome this situation. And again, for a lot of you, this could be worried about the world, society, right? Because there's a lot going on. But you know, the outer world reflects your inner world. So I'm sure there's aspects of this that have played out in your personal life too. And it's just amplified with everything that's going on in the world. But you're going to overcome this. There's been a clear beginning, there will be a clear ending. This is just a cycle in life that you have to go through, that we all have to go through. And you are going to learn so much from it. And you're going to be, you're going to be happy that you went through it, but know that you can't appreciate this without this, right? You know? Yeah, I'm hearing like you don't want to be out of touch with reality. You know, you're a real person. You're a regular, normal person. You're a human. And this is what being a human is about. Okay, let's go over it. 5 of Pentacles. Let's dig into that. Let's see what's going on here. Oh. Okay. See, even with this 5 of Pentacles, like, you're going to end up on top. Everything's going to be fine, right? This is like this. The earth is going through such a big transformation right now. And it's because it's necessary, you know? like how things were moving was not sustainable. How things are now is not sustainable. So all of this stuff is coming up and being exposed, and some people are fighting to keep it. Some people are fighting to for change. And how can you see that in your own personal life, right? There's certain habits, lifestyles, people that you outgrow that you have to let go of. And sometimes it's really hard to accept that something has to end. But you finally have accepted it. And know that, yes, it's painful, it's hard, it's disappointing. No one wanted this to end. But the things that are guaranteed in life are death, change, taxes, not comfortable things. We're not in heaven, so our souls are here to go through these lessons and know that these things happen for you. It's all happening for us. All of it being exposed, all of this coming to our awareness, recognizing the change that needs to happen. But change isn't always easy. And you got to stay strong. You got to stay grounded. You got to stay mindful with your journey, because you're going to be on top in the end. Everything's going to be okay in the end. Know that. Let that reassurance guide you. It's going to be ugly, uncomfortable, weird, but eventually it's all going to work out. See, like you see that crown being popped off? Like, to me, it's like that's the closed-mindedness, the ego, the things that are limiting, the things that want to try to force control, whether that's your own tactics that you do within yourself, with others, or just the things going on in society, in the world. This could be related to your work, whatever, but know that the thing that is hurting you has hurt you. That's the ending that is hard to accept. It has happened for a very good reason, and it is very painful, but it's very necessary. And you're going to be in these times, right? Be in these times and be very grateful that this occurred, because you can't get here without being here, right? We can't skip through that. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Yeah, absolutely. So again, spend time with these emotions. Allow yourself to process. Allow yourself to explore your inner world. I'm not saying that just because this is going to be the end result means this painful situation is easy. It doesn't make it easy, right? And it's not meant to be easy. That's why you got to give yourself the space, the honor to, feel your emotions, share your emotions, journal, meditate, whatever, take a nature walk about it. Whatever process or approach helps you digest your feelings, you got to do that. And maybe you don't have one just yet. So, do a little Google search. Go look on Pinterest or something, I just listed a few. Give yourself the space and the honor to digest all of these things, because there is clarity here. There is. There's going to be victory. There's going to be truth. There's going to be you're going to be sitting there feeling all of your feelings, processing all of it, and you're going to be like, oh, this is why this is happening. This is why this happened. Okay. And again, there's going to be good days, bad days, easy days, hard days. But just be okay with the juggling act. It's like the less you try to control it, the easier. Like if you need to sit and cry for a little bit, sit and cry. If you need to sit and scream out the window or something, do that, or scream into a pillow. But then allow yourself to move forward and still find that hope, that purpose, because that's what's needed to 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 fight this other energy. I feel like I'm talking to a revolutionary right now. Like you're either making a beautiful change in your life, or you're going to change the world in a beautiful way. And I think anyone who is being conscious of love, of equality, of justice, is a revolutionary. You know, doesn't matter how big or small, right? Like my way of doing it is doing these readings and empowering people and things like that. So, whatever way you're doing this, whether it's just in your personal life or in a greater scheme, thank you. Okay. With the Page of Pentacles, this is something that's kickstarting a new journey for you. You know, it's like things had to be ripped from you. So that way you had the space, the ability to move forward in your journey right now. And you're going to see that. See, and I'm looking at this little ship to this big ship, and it's like, I feel like, yeah, a big upgrade is happening for you, right? Because it's like, it feels like this is what you're choosing. So allow the process to unwind and flow, but trust in it. It's going to be fierce. Okay. So with the Tower energy here, just appreciating the highs and the lows and understanding that, you know, I will say one thing. I'll say multiple things, not just one, obviously, but do you guys notice like these little flecks? You got them in the Ace of Swords and the Tower. There's also in the other aces and like the Moon card and a few other cards. But this is a Hebrew letter meaning Yod, which means like a gift from God or like from God, divine intervention basically. And you can see it too with like the hand here, that's supposed to be the hand of the divine of God. This like strike is supposed to be like the divine coming in to shake things up. So know that like a new beginning, right? We all celebrate clarity. We all celebrate truth, victory. We also need to celebrate the uncomfortable blessings from the divine that come in and shake things up, that aren't secure, that aren't stable, that we can't build a life with. We need to be stopped. It needs to be stopped, whatever it is. We got to be shaken and said, what are we doing? So as much as we love that clarity, those beautiful new beginnings, we have to appreciate those harsh endings as well. All right. Tell me more about the Tower here for Cancer. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm obsessed, right? First of all major arcana. We have the Star, the Sun, and Temperance. I have not been saying zodiac signs, but so far we have Scorpio, Taurus, Sagittarius, Leo, Aquarius, and also a little bit of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. We also have Virgo here. Okay. But we have the Star, the Sun, Temperance. Excuse me. Sometimes the smoke be getting to me. This is just so beautiful because it's exactly saying like, due to this, there's a lot of happiness, joy, fulfillment, balance, harmony. You know, and it's about looking at that with balance and harmony, right? Appreciating the flow. But literally, you cannot have this beautiful, light, bright, gorgeous energy without this dark energy, you know? There has to be a balance in this world, and there is. And you know, sometimes this energy makes it really hard to see this or appreciate this. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. Makes you wiser. And it's like you can't appreciate your wisdom, your growth, the boundaries you have now without appreciating the lessons you had to go through to receive that, you know? So let's see about this Eight of Swords. Feeling very confused, very in your head. So yeah, I feel like maybe this situation was very impactful. So of course, with big things like that, it can be really hard to, you know, understand why something happened or have that appreciation for it, or even be able to begin to digest it, you know, and I think that's very reasonable, right? That's why you have those tools, those processing tools, mindfulness, to kind of help you go within and start digging, or at least to feel safe to start to go within, right? Just kind of calming your system to be more open to exploring. All right, let's see about this Eight of Swords. I just heard like, trust the earth has got you. Trust the earth has got this. Trust the divine has got this. You're sent these lessons. You're sent this life during difficult times because you're needed, right? Whenever things go wrong, whenever things go left, it's important to have someone that's like, no, look at it this way. We can do this. It's okay. If everyone goes negative, then it's like, kind of ending everything a little abruptly, or maybe not having the best energy going into it, right? So just have trust. Have trust and know that a part of this journey is not to live in that fear, but it's to live in faith. Trust. Because the human brain cannot logically make sense of some of the things that maybe you've been experiencing, that's been going on in the world. So that's when we got to lean into trust. Okay. You have the Lovers, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Gemini energy, also Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So yeah, it's like there's a lot of worry, but for what? With all that yellow, trust that the light's going to shine. Clarity's going to come through, right? This is going to happen. Let the angels be the guides, okay? Don't put the pressure on yourself to show up and have all the answers. That's what it is. Don't put pressure on yourself to have all the answers. We don't know how things in the future are going to unfold. But all you need to know, Cancer, is that you're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Provide yourself with nurture. Treat yourself like your best friend, like your child. Show up for yourself. And strengthen your connection with your heart, your soul, your spirit guides, your angels. So that way you can feel that love, feel that support. That's why you're feeling so scared, because you feel a bit disconnected, which is, again, who wouldn't? You've been through a lot here. But it's time to reestablish that connection, that team. Whether that's your physical team here, spiritual, the team within yourself, aligning your chakras, whatever it means for you. It's time to kind of get recalibrated and be reminded that you're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Okay, last card here, the Empress. And that's the epitome of you're okay. So let's see about it. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, the Fool. Throw your worries in the wind. Okay, we have the Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Seven of Wands. Yeah. It does feel like a very intense fight. It feels like there isn't a light at the end of the tunnel. It feels like, it's like you're not going to give up, but you don't have a lot of hope, which I hate that. You have to, I know I keep saying it, but literally you have to trust, you have to believe. You have to. Things will be okay, Cancer. This chapter will end. Stability will come. All I know it's hard to have that trust and that faith, but that's when you, during times like this, during this experience for you, is when you need it the most, right? Because look at the situation. Okay, even with 6 versus 1, the universe will put you in a position to get the upper hand, right? As you're moving through choppy waters, you'll have guides, you'll have support, you'll have protection. Okay? Trust that even if you're in this situation, the universe will give you help, will give you resources, right? And this might be how you're feeling now. See, you went from 5 to 6. Trust that you're going to get out of this. And maybe into a position so much so, or maybe the tables will be flipped and this is you helping others, you know? Maybe that's another part of this. Maybe you're learning the hardship so that way you can provide others with that support and that love that maybe you needed or, you know, want to be able to provide. Let's not worry so much. Tell me more about the 9 of Swords for Cancer. Yeah, it's like you're worried about, are you going to be successful or not? Is this going to be victorious or not? Is this all going to work out or not? Don't fixate on that so much, because at the end of the day, you know, they're really, what's meant to happen will happen. You know, I think that's a big thing that sometimes we forget, because we are taught, you know, if you want it, go after it. You know, if you work hard enough, push hard enough, it'll be yours. But at the end of the day, what's not meant for us is not meant for us. You know, it's like toxic relationships. No matter how much 2 people love each other, if they're not good for each other, or if one's not good for the other or whatever, it's not going to work out. The story doesn't change, you know, no matter how much you want or love. And that also works out for something that is meant to happen. Nothing will stop it. You know, you can have a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, a lot of questioning. But if you're meant for something, if something is meant to unfold in a certain way, it will. Whether it's comfortable or not, whether it's good or bad, you know, whatever is meant to happen is going to happen. So don't worry so much. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. Know that this is fate. This is destiny. This is something you need to surrender to. Just know you're going to, everything, you are going to get to the other side of this. That's what you got to ask yourself. If I knew I was supported 100%, what would I do? If I knew everything was going to be okay, what would I do? You know? All right, Cancer, we're going to close it out with an oracle message. If this resonated for you, let me know with a like, a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video, you know, all that good stuff helps the channel grow. It's always appreciated. And if you want more from me, in the description box below, I have all of my social media, my website. And you can go to my website if you want to book a personal service, a reading, healing ceremony, cord cutting ritual. Or if you want to sign up for my newsletter, that's a great way to get some discounts, some bonus material, you know, be the first to know about any updates, any changes, anything going on. All right. Let's see, Cancer. Final bit of advice, final message for Cancer. Thank you so much, Spirit. This was actually a really cool reading. See, we have rebalance here. Things are going to be rebalanced. Things are going to be okay. Justice will prevail. And it was Libra, so you know the justice scales were there. All right, let's see. Final message for Cancer. All right, that came out pretty quickly. Fierce. Party. Okay, we have Eclipse in Pisces, number 36. Free will, serve your higher purpose. Okay, I like that. So 36 makes 9. So that kind of shows you that something is coming to a close soon. Last year was a number 9 year. So maybe this is a bit of reflecting about what happened last year. I like it though, because with free will and higher purpose, they're like, do what you want to do, Cancer. You know, if you want to worry all day, you can. If you want to have faith and trust and start restoring that, you can. If you want to move like everything's going to go wrong for you in the world, do that. Or you can move like you have faith. You know, everything does happen for a reason. And this is on page 83, which makes 11. So I feel like a new beginning is coming soon. It may take some time, but, you know, it'll all start to make sense. All right. Life can seem surreal as you encounter a deeper appreciation of the magic inherent in life and spirituality. Your inner artist, dreamer, mystic, and philosopher will rise to the surface now. See, it's like, I think you got to step out of your logical brain in order to cope or make sense of a situation. And I feel once you start stepping into that more, you know, like mystical, philosopher, creative aspect of yourself, it'll kind of take the pressure off of some things and bring a deeper understanding, I feel. All right. A creative project can come to fruition or must be initiated. Let go of preconceived ideas and face a fresh reality. Okay. This is the dark night of the soul when all may seem lost, when in fact all is one as you learn to assert your free will. I love it. And see, part of your free will is deciding how you're looking at something. You will feel truly inspired, but must guard against losing perspective about the practicalities in life. Dependency, including drug and alcohol addiction, and codependent relationships will benefit from a fresh approach. Yes. It is time to let these go and embrace a healthier lifestyle. Yeah. There's a lot I feel that is shedding for you right now, which makes sense why you're feeling so overwhelmed or maybe so lost, or just, you know, everything feels overwhelming. Like even things that aren't directly impacting you, you're just like, I can't hear one more bad thing. I get that. I get that. So that's why you need to tap into the other changes in the healthier lifestyle approaches, because that will help you cope with it. It is possible you discover that you've been deceived or have been laboring under an illusion. See, yeah, and we saw that with the Emperor and the Seven of Swords energy. So there could have been somebody being shady. Avoid falling prey to the victim-martyr role in relationships. Ask yourself if you're serving your higher purpose or if you're serving someone else's needs. A victim-like response is, I can't make changes. A little give and take is expected in all relationships, but if you do not feel fulfilled at work or in your personal life, it is time to make changes to the way you live your life. A martyr-like response is, such and such needs me, life must remain the same. See, I think what's happening for you, Cancer, is you're really changing your life from looking at everything like with a blue, like kind of energy. Not literally everything, but you know, like it felt like there's a big thing that was bringing you down, but you felt like there was nothing you can do. It felt very hopeless. And now I feel like you're really investing in yourself. You're committing to yourself. There may be a bit of fear about that because maybe this is a different, you know, chapter, a lot of changes. That's okay. But as you start kind of leading by example instead of trying to be everyone's savior, or instead of just feeling the pain of it and not doing anything about it, you know, then I feel like your life is going to really change and be what it is that you want, or you're going to start seeing those changes in the world that you want, whatever the situation is. And you're going to be like, wow, that was the catalyst for it, is reclaiming your power, standing in your free will. Okay, this is fierce. Okay. Ask yourself if you can make changes in small steps. Know that someone who loves you will understand that you wish to be happier, and they will support the changes you wish to make, regardless of their own needs. Clock that, okay? And where you feel powerless in the bigger scheme of things, remember that you have free will. This is your gift to yourself. Rise to the challenge and implement your free will to improve your life. I love it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's so important right now because I will say, like, there is a lot going on in the world. So the idea of choosing, it's like when they say find micro joys, there's a lot of chaos, maybe a lot of chaos that just unfolded in your life. So it's important to find those little things and make those little changes. Choose yourself in any way that you can. Choose joy, choose love in any way that you can that uplifts you. Because we need it now more than ever, right? And I always say, oh my God, look, see, like, and there's rippling water everywhere. Every time you choose yourself, you choose joy, you choose love, you're putting a frequency out into the world and it's rippling out, spreading. So it's like you want to see that change it in your life and spread out that frequency, okay? All right, that's all I have for you today, Cancer. Thank you so much for watching. This was such a beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.